Aero is everything. Racing at all levels is faster than ever, and being able to save every watt you can is the difference between winning and losing. With that in mind, in no particular order, here are my top 5 aero bikes of 2025. Wout van Aert and Marianne Vos are two of my all-time favourite riders. Aside from being multidisciplinary legends who win massive bike races for fun, what else do they have in common? They both ride the Cervelo S5. I really love this bike, especially in the Visma Lease bike spec, decked out with SRAM red axis components, reserve wheels and lovely tan wool Vittoria tyres. These just look absolutely killer. I particularly like the look of this bike when Visma Lease bike set it up with a single chainring, as we saw Jonas Vingegaard doing at the start of this year's tour. Cervelo now also offer a 1x model off the shelf, built up with SRAM red Axis Explore 13-speed cassette and a 50-tooth Aero chainring. That's about as new school as it gets. When the S5 first came out, I have to say the V-shaped stem really didn't appeal to me, but over the years I've gotten used to seeing it, and now it's really grown on me. Helped in no small part by the fact that it wins massive races. Giants Propel was one of the first aero-specific bikes when it came onto the scene in 2013. It was way ahead of the curve with deep aero tubes and hidden brake calipers tucked behind the fork to cheat the wind. The latest model is also bang up to date and on trend with the newest crop of aero bikes that have started favouring slimmer tubes to aid ride comfort and drop a bit of weight, making them more usable even on mountainous terrain. Team Jayco Alula are rocking these bikes in the World Tour with their men's and women's teams, complementing their stylish map kit with an equally flash purple and silver colourway. I like the horizontal top tube and clean lines of this bike, and a special shout out for Luke Durbridge's Aussie National Champs colourway, fully rocking the green and gold. Trek's Madone is one of the most radical looking bikes in the pro peloton, thanks in no small part to its pretty divisive looking ISOFlow, which we first saw on the previous generation. The Madone is an interesting one, having been designed around real world riding conditions with a rider in mind. Reading Trek's Aero white paper, which I've linked in the description down below if you want to really geek out, shows how holistic the development of this bike is. Complete with a pair of custom Aero bottles that claim to save almost 2 watts over a standard round bottle, the Madone is a full Aero system, and thanks to Little Trek men's and women's World Tour teams, has taken wins at some huge races this season. With the latest Madone kicking the lightweight Amonda out of Trek's product line, and Trek recently releasing a UCI illegal 6.4 kilogram build of a Madone, is it truly still an Aero bike, or is it now an all-round race bike? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. How could I not include the Canyon Aero in this list? It's got Aero in the name, an unashamed Aero weapon with the Palmares to match. The dramatic deep tubes really stand out on this bike, and the option to switch out the standard drop handlebars with a more Aero flared setup shows that this is another bike thinking about making the rider as Aero as possible, not just the frame. It used to be the case that ride comfort was sacrificed when choosing an Aero bike, but with wins at Paris-Roubaix and the Tour of Flanders, two of the most uncomfortable races out there, the Aero is obviously up for tackling rougher terrain, no doubt helped by the hefty 32mm tyre clearance. However, the Aero wasn't the first Aero bike to win Paris-Roubaix. Oh no, that would be the Scott foil. Okay, fair enough, it was the previous generation foil that won Paris-Roubaix with Aussie legend Matt Hayman back in 2016, but it marked a shift in how pros choose their equipment and showed that Aero bikes are more versatile than their name might suggest. The latest foil isn't currently being ridden at the top level, but it is still getting regular exposure thanks to the young megastar Tom Pidcock and his reinvigorated Q36.5 team competing at the second tier of the sport. Take one look at Scott's TT bike, the Plasma, and you can see where the inspiration for the foil's tube shapes has come from. The fork is really deep, and the chine extends across the whole head tube. It just looks fast, doesn't it? I know I said this was the top 5, but as a bonus, let's talk about the dramatic looking unreleased Factor Aero bike we first saw at the Criterium de Dauphiné. It's already got a World Tour win to its name thanks to Jake Stewart, and well, just look at this thing. Clearly following the same thinking as Team GB's Hope HBT track bike, the fork has a really wide stance designed to manipulate the air across the rider's legs. We don't know much about this bike yet, but it's certainly a head turner. But what do you think? Is this the future of aero bikes, or is this a step too far? Be sure to leave your comments below, and whilst you're down there, remember to subscribe, hit like, and click that little bell icon so that you get notified every time we upload. What tech were the pros using at this year's Men's Tour de France? You can see our video on that just here.